Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United. Fellas, all it feeling like ages since we last show, you know? I mean we know why.
Yeah.
Mightn't necessarily agree with postponement last week, but I guess it is what it is. Fellas. So Nico, JP, Phil, welcome to the show, fellas. How we feeling? How
Good
we
night, good night.
feeling?
At least better. Getting 3 points on the ball. Most important. Yeah.
Nice, nice. JP, how we feeling? Freak
Yeah,
ball?
same. Yeah, freak bells. Same, and 3 points in the bag. The performance wasn't the best. I expected more of it, but most important is we get the win.
Nice. And Phil, talk to me. It's been a while since you're on the show, man.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. But at the end of the day, as the guys said, 3 points on the board. We still need to come first in this Europa League group because based on what I've heard, the team who comes first in this group, they go on to the next stage. But there's a playoff between second place and I think whoever drops down from the Champions League, right? So we definitely need to avoid that. But no,
Okay.
3 points and let's go.
And I think in addition to that, Phil, the extra games on the fixture list now, we done so
Mm-hmm.
cram looking for space. So that will really, it'll be in our best interest to not have to go through that extra 2 games, traveling
Yeah.
and everything that comes with it. You
Correct.
know, Richard on the inside, Richard, good night, man. Thanks for joining, buddy. Everson on the inside, good night. He's saying clinical performance. All right, all right.
Yeah.
I'll take that for what it's worth. But thanks for joining, Everson. So, so Erik Ten Hag's first win in Europe as Manchester United manager, fellas. 2-0 over this Moldovan side, FC Sheriff. Right? A beauty of a goal from Sancho. And I guess we go talk about
Yeah.
the whole build-up play leading to that, right? And a well-taken penalty by Ronaldo. Now, fellas, I been honest with you, yeah? I disappointed. Right? I felt as though Manchester United deprived me of a proper cut skin on the Sheriff side earlier.
Yeah.
Now, Nico, them was definitely taken.
Yeah.
How,
Yeah.
You you
how,
find
how,
you find they were so you find they were so bad?
listen,
I don't find they were bad. I find they
the
were
kind of,
a very
how,
athletic team. Um, maybe void of technical ability, but what it didn't have in technical ability, they give it in fight and enthusiasm and energy, and I think that is
all, all that fight and enthusiasm and energy and thing, once you meet a
mm,
proper team, and all I
mm,
saying is how we dominate that game, with
yeah.
so much
Mm-hmm.
possession, we never really threatened their goal. In my opinion, that goalkeeper should be having nightmares after today earlier. And like
Let's
that, for me,
so
for
let me
me,
think about it.
no, because
Let's
let me just finish this part, right? Because
yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
if we were to line up, let me say, a City in a situation like this, City not letting this team go, because you could, if when you watch our game, Nico, you could have seen after the 2-0 we went into management mode instead of going for the jugular, and that is the issue I had with today. Because even me and JP was talking, let me say the team was more ruthless, right? I know we win it, but I want it to be more ruthless. And if we were more ruthless, let me say by the 60th minute, 70th minute, we could have be 4 goals up, then we could have seen a little Iqbal, we could have
Yeah.
seen Garnacho coming earlier. And that are the kind
Charlie
of things I want to
McNeil.
see.
Yeah.
These are the
Baby
games
steps,
where we had to
Reeves.
get them
Baby
fellas on
steps, Reeves.
them.
Baby steps, baby steps, baby
Don't tell them
steps,
about
baby
And
damn
steps,
baby
just
steps
and
thing,
just
man.
just as
baby steps,
Nico
baby
just as
steps.
Nico take the words out of my mouth, right?
Uh,
Now if this is Manchester United 2 years into the future, then I would agree with Reem. But with regards to how we are approaching certain European competitions, I've said it once and I've said it again. This is our main route into the Champions League come next year, right? Don't get me wrong. I get where Reem is coming from, but at the end of the day, 3 points is 3 points, and there is no threat from FC Sheriff. So I see Reem's point of view, and we also did have some chances in the second half. You know, Bruno had a chance that Diego Dallo had sent to him, and it was saved by the keeper. Um, there were some crosses from Ericsson of his left foot from the left side, and at least one or two United players could have locked onto it. But at the end of the day, Reem, you kind of mentioned Man City, right? But let's be real, we're not on Manchester City's level as yet, right? That's why I said within the next 2 years or so, if we'll be on
But
that
but
level.
but Phil, let me just jump in and kind of clarify the points I'm making, right?
Yeah.
We had the quality on the pitch to take. You can see we gear down after that two-way goal lead, and we just try to manage out the game. Right?
Yeah.
We knock around the ball. We didn't really threaten to really say threaten. We play and we look for the opportunities. And those opportunities didn't really come because we didn't play with that kind of directness on the constant to say put that kind of pressure on Sheriff. Now I understand what you're saying, eh?
But
So-
then
but-
I also mentioned to you, Reem, in a WhatsApp voice note earlier today, right? That half of these players, or even 3/4 of these players, forget it. This whole team, mostly all these players think that they should be playing in the Champions League. They think they should be playing on the top stage, not because they're playing for Manchester United, which is a factor. But some players think that within themselves that they should be playing in the Champions League every single season, right? It could have been the moment. It's FC Sheriff. It's like, you know what, we beat these guys. Let's just move on, right? But it's the difference between it's chalk and cheese between a Europa League fixture and a Champions League fixture as well, too, right? So.
But Phil, based
But-
on
Reem,
what
that's
you
not-
say there,
go ahead, JP.
I think it's the same way I would look at it as FC Sheriff. So this is the opportunity to build some more confidence here.
I find these days in football that a lot of teams, some teams will punish the not so great teams, but when it
Yeah.
comes to a specific derby or a specific occasion, right, then they would probably give their best, right? Hint and point: Man United versus Liverpool this season, Man United versus Arsenal this season as well too, right? After the Brighton and Brentford games, when we came up against teams we should be beating, it was one love, right? So yeah,
Yeah, for me, right? So let me say, it had a moment when Ronaldo could have got that penalty, right? Which
and
to
it
me
was a
could have been
penalty.
a penalty,
It
right?
was
Which
a
would have
penalty.
been a penalty.
Oh, so
Right?
that's it.
So that would have been, let me say, that would have been 3, right?
Yeah.
It had 1 or 2 chances. Ronaldo would have gotten again. To me, at a clinical Ronaldo, he could have scored. So that could
Yeah.
have been 4 and easily 5. So, and easily 5 goals. So let me say, if we got those chances, we took those chances, and we left this game 5-0, Reem, would you have been contented? Or you still wanted more than 5? Because
At
to
least-
me, it
no,
could have
because-
easily been 5 goals. Easily
All right.
been
So-
5 goals today.
So, and I don't have an issue with that because what I'm saying is we have seen how football this go, right? We see the kind of foolish calls this game makes. So one ball over the top, whoop, Sheriff, attacker get the ball in the box, he get touched in the box, gone down, and the end of the game could have been totally different.
Yeah.
Now it's 2-1. We now on the back for trying to get out of Moldova with a win, a narrow win. That's why I'm saying that 2 goal.
And the same thing you're saying, it could have been a different way. So instead of we going, they scoring a lucky chance, we could have put away our chances also.
But
and the
that
game
didn't
could have been
happen.
5 or 6-0 easy. But that's just
that
how
didn't-
football is. That's
I
how football
understand
is.
that's how football is, isn't it, Nico?
Because you would have said that we played only football. We played only football.
Right, but what I'm saying
And
is even
Well,
playing
like
all the
training,
we
football.
can't
Like
want more than that. Or we can't want more than that. For me, it was easy chances that we didn't take. Right, where the game should have been won. And
I just find
to me, it goes back to we need. If Ronaldo had a little more legs, Reem. If let me say we had a Haaland in that team today with the same chances, Reem, that's like about 6.
and we could argue that every single game. If we did play Brentford and we had Haaland in front, for chances that our game would end up fall. No, listen to the point I'm making. The point I'm making, Nico, is we could argue if this fella was there instead of that fella. But the fact of the matter is, who we had today was good enough to make this game a lot more comfortable and easier so that we could see some more youngsters getting minutes today, right? We didn't have to run out with legs and still hope. I mean, we managed the game properly, but as I said before, football so weird, one over the top ball, and we could have been having a different conversation today.
I'm not gonna lie. The way Reem feels is how I felt after the Arsenal game because I thought we could have put five past Arsenal, right? But I see where Reem is coming from. But a lot of people need to realize that yes, it's Manchester United and we should be demolishing teams like this here, right? But this is the Manchester United that is under Sir Alex Ferguson, and we got Vodafone and Sharp across our chest, right? It's still a Manchester United that's still trying to redefine its identity under Erik Ten Hag, right? Now, 2 years into the future, I will probably be on Reem's side, but I could probably come cross here first and say, you know what? I can take this 3 points and just leave it at that.
But we
JP,
could
you
argue
wanted to
this
jump
whole,
in on this?
we could argue this Reem whole, we could argue this point whole night.
Oh
Reem.
my,
Yeah.
All right, let me just get some comments. We have some guys on the inside. David Curtin on the inside. Good night, buddy. Thanks for joining, man. Sinatra on the inside. Thanks for joining, man. He's saying, yep, I agree. We could have do better. Everson saying, yeah, fellas, don't rush the process. Greatness takes time. You can't skip the process. All right. Mr. Lynch saying here, good night, buddy. Thanks for joining, man. United Today, thanks for joining from the YouTube side. What Reem's saying, we're supposed to dominate that side, scoring more, showing that here what we need to be in the Champions League, and that's what he's saying.
So
right?
we show exactly where we're supposed to be.
Well,
and we
you see?
we know that's the level we at. We know that's the level.
But we could still because I was watching the score line of the game. Feyenoord play somebody, and Feyenoord is not a Champions League level team neither. But they cooking. If you come and you could get slaughtered, you're getting slaughtered. They may take no time and taking out the foot off the gas.
It's about games to come. It's about games to come.
We beat them 2-0 at this neutral ground today. When they come Old Trafford, maybe that's when the slaughtering will start happening.
I hope so because today I was expecting a lot more from the Sheriff team that went to the Bernabeu and beat Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And when I see how this game going, I mean, after the first little 5-10 minutes when we were trying to find ourselves, after I see the kind of control we take at this game, I was expecting, a flurry of goals. I mean, I ain't saying to be them 10-0, but at least a 4-5-0, man.
The next thing is this Sheriff team is not even like the same team that played in the Bernabeu. Literally, it's a whole different team. With a new manager as well.
But this team is a confident team also.
No,
this team is a confident team.
They winning in Moldova.
Exactly, and they won their first game. They won their first game of the season. They are beaten for a few games, but it's a confident team.
So we're right now level on points with Sheriff, but are we ahead of them on goal difference or below them?
I wonder.
They won their first game 2-0.
Because if that's the case, I might slide across to Reem's side now.
No, because when you check it. No, because when you check it, right, this thing with us, according to how Sociedad results go, this could come down to goal difference and head-to-head. So we had to make sure that the teams that we could slaughter, we want to slaughter them because Phil made the point earlier. We don't want to finish second because we don't want to have to face, let me say, a Juventus drop down. Right? Now, I ain't saying that we afraid Juve or whatever, right? But let's say Juve drop down, like 2 extra games on our schedule, plus we have to face Juventus when we could have just been in the round of 16 if we eat with food when we're supposed to eat it, rather than playing and trying to manage out games and things.
The records identical. Same +1 goal difference.
Yeah,
but we on top because I had to head, right?
We on top, yeah. We on top.
Yeah, so makes sense. Yeah, now okay.
Yeah.
Kurt on the inside, Kurt saying here, credit to Chef. They didn't play bad at all. Nico said it was industrious and Dan James and them. Right?
Yeah, that would have was. That would have have to give. They had nothing more to give. That would have had to give, and they give it. And to me, I kudos to that. They give the all.
The John
ballers in the team, man.
Yeah, I find that they was okay. But what I'm saying is we were supposed to slaughter them today. That's all I say.
I agree with that.
All. I understand the process. But in the process we could get a little 4-0 and 5-0 wins too.
This is one of the games in the process. Now we could have put some licks on our team.
Exactly.
But I saw somebody's faces and thing. I was like, they're begging us to take them on, boy, because they have some space. I was like, why we not taking advantage of our space?
But still, I haven't seen us dominate and create a flurry of chances on a Ten Hag as yet. But
But
to
both,
me, we are getting better. We are getting better in
We
managing
We
the
are,
are,
game.
we are,
we
we
are,
are,
we are,
we are.
because we managed the
But
game well.
yeah, we manage the game good, and I say manage the games that need management, and win the games convincingly that need winning convincingly, and this was one of
I
them. I
think
find.
Yeah,
I think the team naturally fragile too. The team's still fragile after last season, and even after losing against Sociedad. I think the team still has to build that confidence.
Fair enough.
yeah, yeah.
Davinder on the inside, good night, buddy. He said, my concern is that Ajax, Ten Hag approach would have been to attack and score goals to entertain. But today it looked like he say ease up after two and play, and the players ease up. That's my thing. I hope I'm overthinking.
Well, that could be a good thing too, because it's showing that Ten Hag have diversity and not just stuck in his way. It's
Yeah,
showing that he's an adaptable manager. That he's not just
yeah.
out there to, well, we used to play so at Ajax, so this is how we have to play here. He kind of working what he have at Man United. And
I
there's a
think
great asset as a manager.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think Simeon had mentioned it in one of the past shows that we had that Ten Hag working out what he have now, but he had a win now to get where he wants us to be
Yes,
and play how he wants us
Exactly.
to play.
yes,
So
Exactly.
yes,
it's a process. I admit it's a
yeah,
process, fellas.
yeah.
You know. Kurt saying here their ground air look 100%, so men probably take precaution
That's
on a
true. It
Patrick
has
ground.
some,
That could also
it has some bad factors on it there.
that's a good point, Kurt. Aaron on the inside, good night, buddy. Glory, glory, Man United. Thanks for joining, man. Mickey Rampasad on the inside, thanks for joining, buddy. He's saying, according to the guys earlier, trust the process, allow the guys to build themselves, we get in there. And we are. So, fellas, team news, right? But with your thoughts on the team news, I want to pose this question to you all. Why I mean, we could probably agree that this was probably our strongest available 11. Why did Ten Hag play his strongest team today? Right now, with that question, do you think he would have started the same 11 that he started today if we had Leeds on Sunday?
Nah. Right, the only reason this team starts today like this is because we didn't have football weekend and then we don't have anything coming this weekend. So it's to keep his main 11 fresh. The players, the main team that he wants to run with, I think that's to give them the minutes in actual competition. So if we were playing Leeds this weekend, I think we would have seen some changes again to the team today.
Um, I kind of on both sides of the fence, right? Because I echo and hear what JP is saying, and I totally agree. But then one can say Ten Hag could be telling himself, you know what? That first loss versus Real Sociedad,
Yeah,
I don't want to take that risk again.
yeah, no chances.
Strongest available 11 on the
Yeah,
field tonight and get me that 3 points, right?
yeah,
Um, but like I said, I see both. I see both sides of the coin in terms of like, if we were playing Leeds this weekend, maybe we would have seen something similar to the lineup versus Sociedad, but maybe one or two extra players from the original first 11,
yeah,
right? But that first loss to Sociedad at home, may I point out, right?
yeah.
You may say, you know what? Let me not take that risk again, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. For me, because we didn't play on the weekend, right? The game against Crystal Palace was suspended. Right? We didn't play. I think he'd have gone with a strong team, maybe the same team as today. But the only change for the weekend, I think Rashford would have been fit for the weekend, and maybe with Ronaldo dropping to the bench and Rashford starting. Because as Phil would have said, losing to Sociedad in the first game, you don't want to risk, going too down and away at a team with a bit of history, with a bit of form beating Real Madrid, as part of their history. and also being away from home, going there with a fragile team that's scared to lose again. I think he'd have gone with a similar team without Rashford. And then for the Leeds game, Ronaldo dropped into the bench, Rashford coming back into the team.
All right. I'm not even sure Rashford will be available if we had a game weekend. I'm not sure because
He probably wouldn't try.
yeah, because even after he got omitted from the national team call up, he tweeted that sorry, but he want to focus on recovery from his injury. So I guess Javid Ram Tahal on the inside. Thanks for joining, man. Good night to you. He's saying and Sheriff has a
I
trade
didn't
player
see
for
him.
them.
I didn't see his name on the bench or anything, so I
Like
don't know if he
Keston
moved
Julian.
on too. Yeah, so I don't.
So he
Maybe
gone. He
moved on.
leave Sheriff too.
I don't know. I
I'm not
didn't see
sure,
his
but
name on
I
the
didn't
team
see it.
at all.
Because
Although
Anderson call him up for internationals,
he get called up. Although
Yes, I know he injured.
see.
Yeah, I know he injured for sure. Yeah, Keston Julian. Kurt saying here, I have to admit, Scotty really looking better, Yeah, he looking good.
The man looking silky, boy.
Yeah, we go talk about Scotty. Javed saying here, Casemiro looking so out of it. So it will take time, I guess. It will take time. Right, ever since, yes, Keston Julian.
Yeah,
Right,
it's still saying he playing for Sheriff as far as I see him, yeah.
I wonder why he was out today, boy.
Strange.
And he's not getting involved in play as much as you expect. Me and Phil had a talk on that today.
That's true.
Kurt saying here, I wouldn't say that was his strongest 11, but Ten Hag wants to give minutes to some guys. Good, this was probably his strongest available 11.
Yeah.
Phil, you're muted, I think.
Yeah, I was saying bar CR. This was his strongest 11.
Yeah. Mickey saying here, on a little smiling note, I'm glad I could give my Liverpool fellas, the Chelsea men, some fatigue.
Yeah.
Good saying here, I welcome the little break from the EP. Good. We now come off
Nah. And then
I want no break from EPL.
And then we had to play catch up with extra games and all that too. Nah.
It feeling like an international break. So as we on that, right, fellas? You all know that for us, unfortunately for us, 2 weeks games get postponed, which means that these games going to get fitted in somewhere else, which is going to further congest, the schedule. You all seen any impact on the league because of these postponed games? Now, not necessarily for us, but of more the league in general. You all see any impact on the league because of these 2 weeks postponed? I mean, for some teams and not for others. How you all see it affecting or impacting the league?
I guess the only how we could tell that is when the game's going to replay now. So we say if they replay the games, real close together, close to big games, I think that is when they really impact us. But for now, I cannot say. I cannot say how it would impact us. Because maybe I play it on a weekend where maybe the FA Cup games, we're not playing in the FA Cup or the Carabao, we're not playing in that competition and might not affect us now. So I can't see.
What the FA gonna do, right? Is that they'll probably try to cram a good set of games into the period. I want to say it's November, December, and then February, because that's the Champions League break, right? So I think by that time they would have seen, which EPL teams have advanced from the Champions League into the group stages or down into the Europa League. You never know, right? But at least there's a break between December and also beginning of February, or as people call it, Valentine's Day in February, right? So, so in between that 2-month period, they'll probably look to cram those postponed games into the middle of the week, because teams that are still in the Champions League, they wouldn't be playing Champions League football by that time, right? So,
JP?
It should not have too much of an impact. I mean, because usually something would happen in the season where you get this happening where games have to be rescheduled. So I mean, this was everybody it happened to at one time, but I don't see it having too much of a impact. It's just that with World Cup and all that happening this year, it kind of make it a little more inconvenient to have to try and squeeze in. And now for us, it's not just one but two games that we're looking at rescheduling.
Yeah, because I think after the international break, we're looking at how much games, boy? I think it's 13 games or something, so?
Something like that,
Yeah, we have
yeah.
like 13 games in all, yeah, and the space of time is like, what, 3 days between games, and then you want to add
Yeah,
games on top of that.
yeah,
So, so I don't know. I mean, because when you have games in such close proximity, and then when you consider our squad depth, right, the kind of output again from certain players on the bench, I am saying chances I could, and I mean, we're looking at in Liverpool and the injury situation, how they would cope. So, I mean, I think it could have an impact, but again, it's probably too early to say right now until, let's just say, people come back injured from international break. Well, then we can say, but boy, hey, yeah,
yeah,
Pressure.
yeah.
pressure. Anyway, so going back to the team news, thoughts on the team news, fellas, team sheets.
Yeah, I guess we got to touch on it in terms we had to go strong. We had to go with the strongest team. Um, Again, I wasn't surprised. To me, the big thing again, looking at the midfield option in terms of Casemiro, but I think Scott continues to impress in the midfield. And then when Casemiro have gotten his chance, he still hasn't looked like he fit into the system as yet. But I think with time we would see that. But for now, I think he's still catching. He's still trying to catch his legs. Um, Maybe understanding with the team, confidence in the league with the players around him. I still think he feeling into that. So to me, that's the only conundrum within the team at the moment. But Scott continues to impress. On top, to me, I know we're going CR7, Rashford out. With CR7 history alone, playing in the Europa League, even though don't want to play there, he still want to score goals. He still has the milestones that he want to reach and surpass. So I think it was the team selection today was a no-brainer to me.
All right. Guys, don't forget to like and share the podcast, right? We want to get more people in on the content. All right. So if you're on YouTube, click like and share the link. If you're on Facebook, share in your timeline, right? Um, Phil Nico talk about McTominay, right? He mentioned him. So let me talk about Scott McTominay. He was top again today, right? He was top, right? He's not my cup of tea, but he was top, right?
Yeah, mine either.
What what do you think Scott doing different that's he keeping Casemiro out of the team? Because to be honest, right, while Casemiro was decent when he came on, and I think Nico you had mentioned it, right? For me, McTominay starting versus City. What McTominay doing differently now that he wasn't doing before? Why he looking so? Why he looking like a footballer?
I would say it's two players that I think has Scott McTominay, I guess, playing football according to you, Reem, right? I read a report that well, I read somewhere on social media saying that during training sessions, Casemiro has been a catalyst in everybody keeping their high levels during training, right? I'm not surprised, but there's a player by the name of Christian Eriksen that keeps the midfield
But
ticking.
he
Keeps the
raised the
midfield
he
ticking.
raised the whole
Foot,
team.
left foot, right foot. This guy can pass with
Yep.
any single foot, right? And I think he is the main reason why Scott McTominay is looking a bit more focused. Um, I would say, bar the Arsenal game, a bit more disciplined as well too, right? Um, as you guys know, iron sharpens iron, right? And I think Scott McTominay not being played next to Fred, breaking up that Mac Fred combination, and playing next to Christian Eriksen, who has a higher IQ than Fred and actually knows how to. I don't want to say knows how to play football because at the end of the day, Fred isn't a bad player, right? But we just saw the Matt Fred combination just not working out under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So having Christian Eriksen play next to Scott McTominay and give Scott a bit more confidence and a bit more freedom, I can tell that there's a lot of communication going on between Scott, Bruno, and Christian Eriksen, right? So if that's the midfield trio that is going to get Man United through the Europa League and the EPL this season, and Scott keeps up his high levels of football and IQ thanks to Christian Eriksen, then by all means start Scott, right?
I,
But
I, I, I fully
but
agree with that.
yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say obviously like we know Scott from the past, right? I myself I'm not gonna let just the beginning of this season erase what Scott has done over the last 2 to 3 seasons, right? Remember the slow tracking back and people dribbling past him so easily. We're not seeing that right now, right? But I'm gonna give my full verdict on Scott McTominay maybe come next year, 2023. But until then, you got to give Jack his jacket. Scott is playing up to the level that is of a Manchester United player.
Yeah. So JP, coming to you on the same one, right? Because
Yeah.
Phil makes some good points there with what's Eriksen adding.
Yeah.
But if it's so much on Eriksen, then why, when Fred was paired with Eriksen in, for example, the game against Brentford, why we didn't see Fred looking better? You
Like,
know?
I think is the type of player too, because Scott could more play the fullback, the more holding role, and give Ericsson the freedom to go forward. But I don't think that is Fred's position. Fred can't keep that kind of discipline in the back there and hold on the defensive midfield role. And I think that's where you're seeing Scott doing better. He will join going forward at times, but is less so. So he focusing more on the area that he supposed to play in because Ericsson doing the work that required of him in terms of distributing, controlling the pace of the game, knowing when to speed up, when to slow down. Ericsson picking the right passes. So Scott getting the chance to focus on his game in terms of more or less patrolling behind the half line. That is where his zone is now. And I don't think that's Fred's game. Fred is not that player to really hold on behind the half line. He wants to go forward a little more. So you will get clashes with him and Ericsson in that sense, and Ericsson will have to do more defensive work. And that is not Ericsson's game. So I think that is why that pairing didn't work.
All right. Nico, them fellas
Yeah.
talking about Eriksen, but right now, I've been honest with you. Yeah. I was always an admirer of Eriksen, even in his days at Spurs, you know. And I know Sir Alex Ferguson at some point wanted him, right? But that didn't work out. But you feel, Nico, if we had gotten Eriksen probably under, if Eriksen was part of the team when we had managers like Mourinho, Oli, and Ragnick, if he would have been this much of a revelation to the team. And the reason why I'm asking that is because we've seen literally nobody improve, right, when they come here. Probably still early for Eriksen, but we have seen nobody really improve over the time when they signed till now. You think it would have been the same, or is it, hey, we're glad he's here now under the better manager and let me move forward with that?
Boy, I think Ericsson is quality. You know, I think if he came into any United team, he would have lifted levels because we as United fans were crying out for that type of midfield player for years. You know, and I think he's a player that could improve everyone around him. You know, just because of his quality. You know, even people have confidence that even that Chris Ericsson could make that pass or Ericsson could make that cross. With Fred or Scott in the middle there, you know what I mean? Men hoping, and when they get the ball, the surprise now. Wait till I get the ball and they're going to sit. You know, because they're so not accustomed getting those passes that they lose belief in the ability that these fellas can make these passes. So I think Christian Eriksen is quality. You know, I think that he could improve any team. You saw it with Brentford. You saw him at Spurs. I think he's just quality now. So I think he can improve. And I think if you even going back to Scott, I think what Scott improve on, right? He hasn't been that mobile cone that we know he normally is. So so with Ericsson, he has simplified his game. So with Ericsson is what? Let's try and
Basics.
win the ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try and win the ball and pass it to Ericsson.
Pass it.
You know, pass it. Yeah. Don't try to run with the ball, don't try to do nothing much. Your main purpose is what? Get a foot on that ball. Right? Don't let men be run passing you so easy.
Yeah.
You could imagine if we had you can imagine if we had Ericsson and Ander Herrera in the same team.
Ooh. Wow. You see, the only thing I would say to if we had Ericsson earlier is if he would have been played in the position as he being played in now. Because remember, other teams would have preferred him in Bruno position.
Number
So he
10.
was more
Yeah.
playing in number 10 position. And I don't know if the other managers would have utilized him in that role because initially it looked like if he came in as backup to Bruno with us.
Yeah.
And it's almost like,
JP,
yeah, like Ten Hag realized, no, hold on, this fella could play deeper and control the midfield. That to me, that's how it came across. It didn't seem as if he came to start in that position that he in now.
but JP, I feel he could do better in number 10. I personally feel
You
he
feel
could
so?
do better in number. I think so. I think he
Nah,
could be.
I like him when
think
he
he could be
is.
better in
I
number
like,
10.
I like him.
I like him
Because
when he is.
Yeah, boy.
Because if we had
Yeah.
Frankie, if
It,
we had Frankie, I tell you, and let me say, Bruno and Ericsson competing for that position. I think Ericsson will be the better bet in that number 10 position.
Because you say we have Frankie, which means we'd have had somebody better to progress the ball.
Exactly.
I agree with that. I agree with
in
that.
that sense, possibly. But
Yeah,
it's
I think
hard
he'd
to
be
drop
the
Bruno
better
now, eh?
bet in that number 10.
It's hard to drop Bruno now, eh? Because Bruno and all game
Yeah.
and there's a discipline to his game where he more holding his position and not just
Correct.
trying to be the hero in the team anymore.
Correct.
And all of that is because of Ericsson. Because
It
he
is.
know
It is.
because he know it has quality behind him. So now he don't believe
Yeah.
that he has to do everything.
Yeah.
Before he was thinking that he had to do everything. Now he
Yeah.
know that it have players in the team who doing their job, and maybe he could focus on his.
Just to go back to Scott though,
Mhm.
one thing he's still not doing enough for me is showing for the ball. And
Yeah,
and
he's
that
still
is
hiding.
where
Yeah.
that is what I saw. Even though Casemiro was still finding his feet, he was more visible. He was more showing for the ball. And honestly, I think eventually it'll just be a matter of time until Casemiro starts in it because he is class and he will start to find his feet in the team and eventually Scott will sit down. And it's not that I don't want Scott to continue to get better, but I just think Casemiro have qualities that above Scott. And it will
Yeah.
do the team better. Because for the initial period when he came on today, there was something better in the midfield
I agree
when
with
he
that.
just came on. Although he was making little mistakes and he find his feet, but you're still seeing a different caliber player in him over Scott.
I agree with that.
I thought David De Gea was a bit more comfortable with Casemiro in midfield because
Yes.
when you
He was
realize
playing, yeah.
when you realize in the first half, right, David De Gea was spraying the ball to the
One
left
time.
back or right back, or if
Yeah.
Varane went out wide or Martinez went out wide, he would spray
Right.
the ball at him, right? There was no passing the ball in the middle to
In the
Scott
middle,
McTominay. Maybe to Ericsson once or twice, but as soon as Casemiro came on in the second half, Casemiro was showing for the football. And when you
yeah.
guys say that Scott is hiding from the football, that's evidence today, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Casemiro, he's seeing even in the position where he playing, where we're saying if Scott playing it, he needs to be simple. You're still seeing that kind of intelligence from Casemiro in that position. The passes he making,
Yeah,
he
he
not
can still
taking.
pick
Because
up
sometimes,
pass.
because sometimes you'll find Scott had to take 2 touches before he looked for a pass.
Yeah.
Casemiro don't see the pass before the ball comes to him.
One time, so he plays one time. Yeah.
Yeah, and he a lot more progressive with his passing as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's really for Casemiro to settle as fast as he could. But as I said before, as it stands right now, McTominay,
Yeah.
ahead of him,
And again,
he plays.
that's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
Correct.
it
It's,
is.
it's long time we couldn't
Correct.
say something like this, so that's a great problem to have.
Correct. Because there's some comments on the inside here. Javed saying here Greenwood making the under 21 on the agenda. Oh yeah.
You see his name pop up,
Let me talk about this week now. At least not right now. But here now, right, just in passing, right? I know we are talking about Greenwood, right? We don't, right? But I've been honest with you. If Greenwood come back, and let me just say there was not this period here, let me just blind to that period and he come back with the same kind of level that he was at before.
Yeah.
Anthony, that's just what I'm saying. Right?
Was it Anthony? I didn't hear you. Was it Anthony?
Anthony will get some problems. Because Greenwood was running at you. Greenwood had 2 foot. Greenwood more direct. I still feel Anthony will get some problems.
If there's anything, I would try and put Greenwood more to the middle. I think that is where his future is.
I have no issue with Greenwood being on your right or through the middle. I have no issue in any position.
Yeah.
He could play across the front three because he had both feet.
Yeah. I mean,
and he
that's
deadly.
why you have a dynamic front three, when you have players who could switch.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I can't tell which is Greenwood's strong foot.
No.
Because Greenwood has hit a ball hard into the goal with his left foot. But take penalties with his right foot.
Yeah, boy.
I think, and especially let me say if he bulk up a bit.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, man. All that food eaten in lockdown, and yeah.
Now we go take some time for him to come back. We know what he's doing behind the scenes.
Definitely.
But I mean, I be honest with you. Once he, he cleared. Anyway, I don't want to talk about this because it's plenty kind of real sensitive things to talk about with this, right?
Yeah.
So let me. Sorry, Javid, but we want to leave Greenwood out of this, right? He said, except City, the other 6 teams not deep could be a real option. Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
He's saying Eriksen making a difference for Scott, and I think the guys on the panel said that as well, right? Scott don't have to worry about creating, just break up play. Yeah. Could say here Scott treading passes forward and not sideways. He actually looking for the players. His defensive awareness improved because he is breaking up a lot more plays, and the confidence with it too.
Yeah.
He also could also say here, you will get Pong. Oh, all right. Arun saying here, maybe Scott understands Ten Hag better and having that solid rock Eriksen next to you helps his game. And we always used to talk about the players being properly coached. So this could be as a result of proper coaching.
Yeah.
Right? Devendra saying here, I expected the opposite. I thought Fred would have stepped up to be a class player rather than Scott. Me too. All of you. Especially how.
When Fred comes on to substitute in these games, Fred plays good.
Yeah.
He does.
He's get that kind of energy now, and that way you want to, the game dying down. Right? So when Eriksen do get a rest, who have that awareness like him, boy? Because Bruno is playing much better too and less risky. If something was happening to Eriksen, what's going on?
That's why I wanted to see Iqbal get a chance. No, that's why I wanted to see Iqbal get a chance. That's why we had to give Iqbal a chance. Iqbal had to get some games.
I agree with JP. Iqbal. I saw what Iqbal did in preseason. I would like to see a repeat of that sometime during this EPL campaign, right? Even if it's in an FA Cup game or something like that, I want to see Iqbal. To give Ten Hag more of a headache, right?
Yeah. Javed also saying here, Eriksen, he can't play all games. Yeah, he played more than I expected. What's the backup? Yeah. Donny van de Beek, boy, me and Una.
Well, yeah.
Me and
A Freddie Merrill.
Pretty
yeah,
narrow.
It's still that time, don't worry, it's still that time because remember, form just drop, people will come in ready to take the chance. So it have plenty of things to happen this season. We can't conclude on anybody, I think.
True.
All right.
But Donny fit?
He's saying here.
Donny wasn't fit yet.
Nah, Donny was injured. He wasn't there
he's still
today.
not fit yet.
Yeah, Bruno much more disciplined. That's correct.
I'm not gonna lie. If January or February come, I might give it on Donny boy.
Yeah, but Donny suspect body right now.
Nah,
Donny
it
suspect
ain't working.
body.
It ain't working. For
Boy.
You waiting for Frankie to come.
Yo, apart, not interrupt. A partner of mine told me today, boy, because we all know that Frankie De Jong wants to be playing Champions League football week in, week out, right? If Barcelona drops down to the Europa League, I'll be gone. Oh my lord!
Yeah,
I can stick it to Frankie.
Hey, Jody on the inside, man. Blessed night, buddy. Saying Jojo walking room, taking on the live, driving on the yes, man. Nice, appreciated. Just don't be messaging too much, right?
Jody always complain about Pollard, boy. Always complaining about Pollard.
So here's something real interesting that I noticed, right? And I don't know if you all would have picked up on it as well, and we could have the discussion, right? Now, I like how Ten Hag making us into a very unpredictable team, right? And for him to do that, it requires versatility, right? And I think this is where Shaw and Wan-Bissaka will struggle. I don't know if you noticed against Sociedad, he took off Malacia and he played Dalot on the left and he put Lindelof on the right. Today, he took off Dalot. He played Malacia on the right and Shaw was on the left.
Yeah.
And when he did it, for the 2 times he did it, those guys were tucking in almost as midfielders.
As a fifth and fourth midfielder,
Yeah. So we're seeing, and I mean, they're doing a good job. No, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, fellas. I try not to have no agenda here against Shaw and Wan-Bissaka, but I don't know if them fellas could go. I don't know if you put Wan-Bissaka on the left and put him in midfield, whether he gonna do it.
No.
Shaw has no right foot, right?
Yeah.
You realize between Dalot and Malacia, both can use their feet.
Both feet,
right?
yeah.
You can't. Shaw has no right foot. Wan-Bissaka has no left foot. Wan-Bissaka always, when the ball is on his right foot, he either got to pass back or he got to look to do a little banana or a side pass, right?
Yeah.
Those guys, Dalot and Malacia, are so comfortable with the ball on
both feet. Yeah.
Right?
Could say here, if Frankie had come and we had still gotten Eriksen, Eriksen came first, so if he came, Eriksen would have been here already. Right? He's saying Eriksen would not have been impactful because he would have been the backup. Frankie was EPL and Christian would have been league and cup games. I think over time in training,
I slightly disagree, boy. I slightly disagree. Eriksen is EPL proven.
Right?
Why not put your EPL proven player in the EPL?
There's no way that he's showing around quality.
Yeah,
I think any team would wish that they would have taken him over us right now. Any of the top teams.
Exactly. And Phil, you slightly agree with Kurt on that one. I fully agree. I fully disagree.
No, I disagree with Kurt.
Okay. Yeah. Full Kurt. Nah. Eriksen was showing equality. I feel more than likely was Bruno was saying now.
Yeah.
Right?
Boy, that's a discussion for another time, boy.
Yeah. Everson said, because remember, Erik Ten Hag used to play a 4-3-3. So you had 2 8s, 1 progressive. So I think Frankie would have been more progressive one as the ball carrier, and Eriksen would have been playing his similar role. They could have interchanged.
Yeah.
You know? Everson saying here, we contented in being just okay. Start, Scott. If we want the next level, bring on the beast defensive mid. Simple, man.
I get where Everton is coming, but this is not FIFA.
But he already
It's not FIFA.
Yeah,
I get where you're coming from, though.
He's seeing that he's still actually kind of working his way into the team. He getting his chances, and Scott's still doing better than him at the moment.
Yeah. I
Simple.
mean,
If
yeah,
this was last season, I was all for Casemiro
Yeah.
starting, right? But
Regardless of what, regardless of
as
form,
much
if he out of form or
Yeah.
not, we taking him.
as I have an agenda against Scott McTominay, the man,
Mm-hmm.
you got to give Jack his jacket. So you can't drop a player that's playing better than last season and
And
actually contributing to the
Ten
team.
Hag has shown that he is rewarding based on performance. You
Correct, right?
perform your stats. Not because your name Casemiro does not walk in my team and disrupt what's happening right now.
correct.
It's simple
Right
as
now,
that.
if we play players based off of name, that's the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer way.
Exactly. Yeah.
So earlier, Ronaldo scored his 699th
99
goal.
club goal.
Yes, and I mean, obviously, he scored a goal in the first half. So, my boy, I mean, he care about himself, right? And his personal achievements, and all I can say, all I want, right? So he would have clearly and definitely been looking for his milestone 700 today. But Ten Hag take him off. What's all the thoughts about that? Why he couldn't leave Ronaldo to get his 700?
But on fumes,
Yeah,
come on.
I don't think.
You think Ten Hag cares about
I don't care
Ronaldo?
about that. And surprisingly, Ronaldo didn't have a reaction to it.
Actually, he was when he came off, he was a little bit upset because, I mean,
Maybe he
once
upset
you're
for
on
the
the
chance he
field,
missed.
I think it's that. Yeah, I don't think he could have any problem with coming out today.
Because he had Ronaldo that we know. That chance he would have gotten one-on-one more or less. That is the sky over bar. Come on, that was goal.
Correct.
So I think he maybe was more disappointed about that.
Yeah.
And maybe not even getting the penalty, the first one, than coming off. But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, a striker will always miss chances, but they always look at the next one. So that is why he could be probably a little bit upset that he didn't take off.
Based on his start for the season, so it's only one goal. There's Ronaldo who are accustomed bagging them in, so he probably just put in more pressure on himself.
Let me be real. As Reem said, this is Ronaldo who is all about himself, right? Ronaldo is probably thinking, I would rather score my 700 goal in front of a United fan base at Old Trafford instead of 100 United fans in Moldova, right? The amount of praise and hype and all that he will get at Old Trafford in front of his own fans, scoring his 700 goal, will feel better than against,
or even against City in the next
game.
Yeah, that would be something.
That man scored his 700 goal versus City is underwear commercials, left, right,
No, but the thing about it, right? If it had been a winning effort, right? You can't be celebrating 700 goals and Haaland scoring all kind of jump kick goal and thing and beating me bad. That's making sense, right?
But
so
that ain't happening though. But that ain't happening. That ain't happening. That ain't happening.
Kicking down Haaland in
yeah, that's happening.
Good saying here now, fellas. This youth we loan out. Fernandez looking good there. That left wing not safe. That left wing back not safe for Malacia if he continues to shine. What? I don't know. That left back not safe for Malacia if he continues to shine.
Fernandez again. Malacia.
Fernandez. Okay. Also, there's another youth named Mark Jurado as a right wing back, another Spaniard. I think two of them came together. Jurado and Fernandez. They came to United together. I remember them. I remember only buying them. That was under Oli. Alright.
Fernandez is quality.
Yeah. And I know Curtis followed them youth players on them, so I get that one. Alright, Aaron saying how long Rashford out for? Maybe he may need Ronaldo more. The international break and these postponements may have been could be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Right? So it's 2 weeks Rashford have to recover, 2 weeks for Martial, for Donny, for Wan-Bissaka, all the players who who injured, so that we'll have a full strength team, sorry, when we start back, because Ten Hag did say today that with the amount of games coming, he also hopes that nobody come back from international break.
I find Varane could have fake a little injury today.
Oh gosh, boy.
So not go play with France, but like he could have fake a little injury today.
Because
he want to go World Cup.
He does always get injured in France,
He want to go World Cup.
No, he
he will
go World Cup.
He even started for France these days because I know France got.
He was injured. Nah, he's starting. He started.
Started for France, all right.
He started. Yeah, he started for sure.
And once he continue this form at United, the chance go pick him, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I think Kimpembe injured, so he out. So I guess
Still got Upamecano for Bayern Munich and Konate for Liverpool.
but Konate injured, so he didn't get qualified.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still got Joe Skunda for Barcelona as well too, but I get where you're coming from though.
Yeah. In terms of that kind of experience now, in terms of championships and trophies, Varane had that over everybody. Javed saying, only 525 fans made the trip.
Yeah.
That's little. Holy.
Yeah.
Javed saying Ronaldo bicycle for the 700, like Rooney.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also said Martial back is what I waiting for. Me too, boy. Oh God, boy.
Yeah.
Missing Tony, boy. Kurt saying Kurt, you might block you. As soon as the man start looking good, boom, injured. Nico does always say that, Marcel giving us
Pereira.
A Pereira? I don't know.
Pereira. I don't know what's that.
Your P walking on the keyboard all good. Alright, season looking good, and then real game time he busting. Yeah, boy. Real sick man.
Andreas Pereira he's talking about.
Yeah, probably. Pre-season Pirlo.
Yeah.
So earlier, anybody gonna put a house, the car, the life insurance on Martinez and Varane? Them fellas solid. Them fellas better than insurance and all here. At least so far. So far, them fellas looking solid, boy.
Reem, just find a hyena. Bury there first. Then. Till then. Nah. Not at all.
No, but
the partnership are really impressive. They're playing off each other. They really complement each other. Because you see, like I was looking at the game today, Martinez was popping up on the right side sometimes to cover space, and they're just there for each other. They know each other, like if they're playing together a long time.
The main question that every United fan should ask themselves: How did you as a United fan feel when your centre back pairing was Harry Maguire and Lindelof? How did you feel when opposition teams were running at Harry Maguire and Lindelof? How do you feel?
You're scared.
How did you feel when Harry Maguire or Lindelof were on the football progressing? Compare your answer to this season when you have the likes of a fit Varane, a hungry Lissandro Martinez. Ask yourself, how did you feel between last season with Lindelof and Maguire and this season with Varane and Martinez? And you'll get your answer.
Chalk and cheese,
I think we definitely had a trade Malacia and Dalo in that too, because they as well.
Correct.
Definitely adding to that confidence in the back there.
Because if you had Shaw and Basaka, we have to be shaky too.
Exactly. So the people passing them easy.
What Ten Hag had to say about it today, he said we were good in possession, but we defended very well. Rafa Varane was in there as the leader. He puts everyone in the right position.
Yep.
He fits really good together with Licha Martinez. So I think
that alone spell the end for Maguire. That it signs to deliver. That is it.
And even though we were 2-0 up when Maguire came on, I started to feel that same fear Nico was talking about when Maguire came on.
It's scared. It's like why? No. I still prefer Lindelof come on.
But I mean the I think you know, even though he don't pay much attention to, you know, all these politics and thing, he's still aware of the narratives. And that is why I think Maguire, that you're club captain, you know. And I really think that Ten Hag looking at his roster and he realized it have a lot of confidence players on the team. And men had to know that, men had to feel that kind of love, even though they may not be first choice. They had to feel that, you know, there's still opportunities are still there for them, you know.
Yeah.
So I get why he would have made some of the substitutions today, you know, like the Shaw and the Maguire. But at the same time, this is why I was kind of a little annoyed earlier when we were talking. Had we put away the game, then instead of, you know, Ilanga, we might have seen Garnacho earlier, and then Iqbal could have come on for for Ericsson or Bruno. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point we're gonna need these fellas.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but I mean we can't deny, you know, how important Varane and Martinez, their partnership is. You know, and I mean we can't leave out Malacia and Dalo because they have all been extremely important for our clean sheets. You know, I think what they're saying since this backfire, well, since Martinez and Varane has been together, they played 5 games together, right? And they won all. We only conceded 2 goals, one against Arsenal and one against Liverpool. So I mean, fellas, come on, right? Long may it continue earlier.
Yeah.
You know, good scene here in Mary Train we trust.
It's a combination.
Marty Rain, Varane and Martinez. So you seen here, Reem, where Ronaldo screen today is pressure for Martial to come back in that team. Please.
The score. No, I guess we see ourselves score today.
Oh, okay. Now, watch me Ronaldo's game. Shades of Lukaku with the first touch. Ronaldo control that ball and that ball end up by Dalo. Don't tell me nothing about Martial, but Javed saying here, once we in the title race close to the end of the season, I'm glad. And maybe 2 cup semi-final, final. Yeah.
That won't be a bad show.
Yeah. Lindelof bad, Phil.
You saying Lindelof is not bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, you rate in partnerships, right? So
Yeah.
He's saying you believe Martinez and any other. Nah, because even when Martinez played with Maguire against Brentford, Martinez looked good, and it's because of Maguire.
Understanding that they have boys, they have a chemistry. That's as simple as it is. It's just chemistry that they have playing off of each other.
Yeah, and then to what we had to also listen and hear is what Ten Hag, the way he was very, very clear about with Varane, his leadership, his organizational skills. Although we can't take them thing for granted, them thing important.
No.
Just want to throw it in there. Varane knows Spanish, Dalo knows Spanish, and I think Malacia. I can't remember. Malacia knows a little bit of Spanish as well too, but he knows English obviously as well too, right? So there's no communication barrier there per se, right?
Yeah, and Dalo could talk English. Dalo could talk Portuguese. Varane could talk English. You know.
Yeah.
So I think in terms of communication, that is what Ten Hag was also pointing out. You know, the fact that he could communicate and he know to organize his backline, and then you have, you know, Martinez just clearing men. And then what's so good about the two of them is progressors with the ball as well. When you see Martinez could pick a pass, Varane progressing with the football. I see Varane traveling all close to Anthony. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, comfortable on the ball.
Yeah.
So I happy. The most important thing is them fellas stay fit all year. Them fellas stay fit. We just need them fellas to stay fit.
We need
right?
that.
can't stand to see every time Maguire run on that field. I still look at a message Nico today when I see Shaw come on, I just start to get vexed. Boy, the man do nothing earlier.
What
The man do nothing.
No, I was vexed too. I was vexed too. And I think I was more upset because of how I study England team news and Shaw and Maguire make and it's like on what form and Sancho bagging
And
it now and it's
Rashford,
like Sancho can make and Rashford. Like what that making sense.
A
Well,
lot,
that was had me
a lot
more
of
upset.
people, a lot of people think Reem joking, but my heart to start to beat fast when Maguire come on the field. You know,
Yeah.
faster,
Yeah.
boy.
This yes.
I watch each time. I was like 2 minutes plus stoppage time. Wait boy, them could still
next
come
thing you
and score
hear,
3 and we there.
yeah, next thing you hear, if you do a wickedness and you see 5 minutes on that board, you know everybody going panic station, man, going in panic station. 5 minutes, what? See, Sheriff throwing everything in, everything. Them fellas, hey, goalkeeper, come off, just attack us. They just run at Maguire, we pressure. Um, Javed saying here, what about our set piece effectiveness attack wise? We winning more balls but no control in heading. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still struggling to score.
Delivery spot on, but it's just the execution in the box. Yeah.
Yeah. Eric Lewis on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying Ronaldo not looking sharp. Maybe he needed preseason, but history has shown every time it seems like he's over, he bounces back.
Christian Eriksen, they have a
I think
preseason.
I think Ronaldo needs to adapt to the team. He can't expect any team to adapt to him, and Ronaldo not holding up the ball. He want to play the ball one time, and I think that is what killing the game. He don't want to hold up the ball a little bit with his back to goal and wait for somebody to make a run. He trying to hit one-time passes, and that keeps killing the attack when he do that.
So he losing the ball.
But the couple times he did hold the ball, because I mean I ain't gonna go in and lie on the man, right? The couple times he did hold the ball, and he did what JP was saying there. We had some nice little attacks, but he not doing it. Yeah, he not doing it enough.
Yeah.
Right, and then just that flick and all kind of thing he's trying to do. That's it.
Yeah,
You
too much of that.
No, too much of that.
Too much of that. Yeah, keep it simple. Hold up the ball. You're strong. Ronaldo's a strong player, and he like to go on the ground too easy. So you have to understand that now working in this team. You have to stay strong. Hold up the ball. You have runners. We have runners in the team. Find the runners when you hold up the ball, and then you look to get in the box. That's what we needed to do wrong. I think he does need to understand that. Keep your game simple.
We got use Ronaldo as a poacher, right? Because any through balls for Ronaldo, whoever is the center back for the opposition,
picking it up,
will always get the ball.
Yeah.
Maguire no with it.
Yeah. He lose another 2 steps.
A lot of pace, boy.
Yeah.
But what I did notice today is that we were swinging in some balls that was ideal and suitable for Ronaldo to get on the end of. And if he gets on the end of it, it's goal for sure. So I think Ronaldo was trying to drop too deep to get involved in the game.
He was, yeah.
But Ronaldo had to realize now, because of how much the game changed, at least for him, his most effective area and space is in that box.
Yeah.
But when he there, we had to put stuff for him. Right? Because a couple of times we didn't. Yeah, because a couple of times we didn't, it looked threatening, right? It was just for it to either get to him or him to get to the end of it. And I think, once we utilize that and we try to work on that a little more, Ronaldo will get plenty goals in that box because he's deadly in the box.
So look for example, Haaland. Haaland was real quiet in that City game. 2 chances, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what he win the game. Give him a chance.
Good boy.
That's it. So he barely had any touches, but you dare not take him off because once he's in that box, he's a beast.
Correct.
And that's the kind of player Ronaldo had to be now. Like we know he's deadly in the box. Relax yourself and stay on top.
Yeah.
That's the effective areas. Because he can't pick up that ball and run out to tag in. That he tried to do it at least once or twice and he just cleared it away from him. It's like
he's a paper. Yeah. Eric saying here, sad to say he's not a suitable forward for Ten Hag system. If you put Ronaldo on Man City, he will be scoring like crazy. Yeah, yeah, I don't doubt that. So guys, we looking to wrap it up. So let me get some closing thoughts now.
Yeah, for me, 3 points on the board. I think that was the order of the day for me. Um, because you never know. You know, a new coach losing your first game, team going away from home. It could have been different. So for me, that 3 words on the board, that 3 points on the board today was important. The goal from Sancho again show the class. I know we didn't get into it, but show the composure and the class of Sancho taking those goals, quality.
Yeah, he do it more than once this season, eh, Nico?
Yeah, yeah. Again, we saw the renaissance of even Bruno. I think Bruno looking better. We spoke about the defense, how compact, how composed, how confident we are in the defense. Even in midfield, before we used to see our midfield being diced through, like if nobody there, like hot knife through butter. We used to
Yeah,
say, well, there are no kind of resistance in our midfield. How come? I think we even seen
yeah,
that has changed. Um, so overall, for me, it's important to see the team improving, and for me, I seen that, and 3 points on the board, and I think we heading in a better place. I think we looking good on that Ten Hag. As much as Reeves wanted more goals, which I wanted to, but I trust in the process, and so far, I think we're missing one or two pieces, still, and I think players like Marcel come back fit. I think he could be an important player for us the rest of the season.
Yeah, yeah. You hear that, Jody? I didn't say it in his Nico say it, right, Jody? Go ahead, JP.
yeah. I gotta echo everything Nico said. There are a lot of positives that we saw, we seeing with the team, and for me, I know remember you and I were talking, and I wanted more from the team today too, and I think that is a good thing to know that the progress we see with this sign, and we know what they're capable of doing. So it's good to be able to come on the show and expect more from the team even after they win a game. That shows how much we progress in a short space of time. And it's just
Correct.
to keep that going forward. We just have to keep that momentum, keep building. Um, City have weaknesses. We have City coming up next. They have weaknesses that we have to exploit. And I think that is where I wanted to see the ruthlessness today. Because against City, we had to take the chances when we get them. Because we see what
Correct.
they're doing, City going down, but then they're finding a way to come back. They're reminiscent of long time Man United, and that is what I hated. They're not dying. They're not taking licks. They're coming back at you. So we have to go there and show them how we know how to do it. So we have to take our chances. We have to be very tactically strong in our game and very clinical in front of the goal. So that's what I hope we'll be working on going forward to really come out so that we could be here talking again after that show about how great of a tactical masterclass it was that Ten Hag put on against Pep.
Yeah, yeah. Phil?
So our next game is against City, confirmed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Unless,
with
unless,
regards,
unless, and this is just for joke, people, unless our next Royal die within the next 2 weeks.
gosh,
Hey, Charles looking shaky, yeah, so
oh
careful
boy,
with that too.
yeah. With regards to today's performance, it was a very stable and solid performance. um, if I do some nitpicking, I want to see more from Anthony, right?
Yeah,
With regards to the society and the culture of football that we live in today, fans are going to want you to be performing from yesterday, right? Have I seen anything from Anthony that can suggest he can be a world beater for Man United? I have, right? But it's not the Anthony as yet that I've seen from Ajax in the Champions League of days gone, right? So looking forward to seeing Anthony becoming the Anthony that I know he is. But other than that, Sancho's confidence is up. So long may he always be scoring goals for us. That back four definitely very solid in the last 2 months. So hopefully they can stay fit during international break as well too. And yeah, second in the table of Europa League, and there's more games to come. And hopefully we get that game where we can score 5 and 6 goals, and Reem will be happy.
Of course. of which Marcel probably scored about 4 or 5, right?
And the stream.
Jody said here, all of a sudden, everybody want Marcel back. No, after battle. Here now.
No, but he started to come and prove himself, Jody. Jody, he started to come and prove himself.
I get where Jody's coming from, bro.
Yeah, but he approved nothing yet.
We mean he approved nothing yet. The man come on for 45 minutes and show.
All right.
That's why every game you keep talking about we need Marcel back, we need Marcel. Where you want to prove again? A little blood.
All right.
We do good versus Liverpool, so.
I mean, what blood we?
All right. Come on, do it over the season, 45 minutes.
No. Here we're going on it, all right? All will keep saying consistency. The man will be consistent every game until next season, and they'll still come and talk that same crap.
Nah,
man can't win by it. He can't win by it.
No. United fans, fans are fair fans. Right? Because if we could be fair for Scott McTominay at the moment,
that's all I'm gonna say.
We would be fair for Anthony Martial.
If we could give Scott another chance, we gotta give Martial another chance as well.
Of course,
right?
All right. Jody's saying here.
Is the wife that typing?
Oh,
even better. That's good.
What? That we talking about, Jody?
Yeah, man.
But thanks, wifey, for joining. We do appreciate your viewing. Like and share the video. Yeah.
On both your profile and Jody's as well too.
Of course. Yeah. Kurt saying here next season Marcel is being sold. Kurt just trying to rile me, but me studying the blood of Jesus, on me, boy. Me studying all the fellas, boy. Right? Anyway, guys, my closing thoughts. I just don't want right now the biggest thing that will hinder us from progressing under Ten Hag is injuries, right? And all you wouldn't believe how poorly timed this international break is, right? And we talk about it. Varane, every time Varane go, all it prove me wrong. But to me, it seems that every time Varane go on international duty, Varane does get injured. Right? So, I'm concerned. I'm hopeful. I really hope that nobody comes back, and having to go into the medical room and spend weeks there, because we need our full squad. And when I say full squad, we need the best possible 11, available, as much as Ten Hag would want to select them, So, I'm hoping that Rashford and Marcel will be back in time for City. I'm hoping Varane come back fit. And even the others who going out on international break, Scott McTominay, even him as well, he just go there and play centre back and might get injured. I don't know. Right? So I just hoping that we don't have no injuries to deal with, and we get good, Lady Luck smile on we for this period until World Cup, where we have a full squad for Ten Hag to work with. Yeah? Last word going to Erik. He's saying earlier here, Marcel, recent interview. Here now, earlier. Here what we have to do, right? Because we have a 2 week break, and this is on my agenda because Nico heavy. Alright? But we don't get into that now. So what we could do is we have we have 2 weeks. We could try to have our next show within that period of time. And we go look back at this interview from Marcel, because it had a lot of revelations in it. We also had to look back at Eric Bailly's interview. Even though Eric Bailly got injured for Marseille the other day. And I think it had another talking point that I wanted to bring in up. But so we'll have a next show on this, Eric. So, stay tuned, right? So we could kind of go into this and stuff like that. So guys, it was nice. Phil and JP, thanks for joining Nico and myself. We do appreciate all those in the comment section, on Facebook, on YouTube. Thanks for liking, thanks for sharing. We do appreciate it. And guys, it could be a long 2 weeks, especially when you now come off a off season. But say what, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Anyway, so guys, have a good night. See you all on the next one.
Good night.